Was it you that got the kidney stone on an elk hunt?
Yeah. I was just thinking. I was like, oh, do I drop that story or not? It's that's a yarn, man.
Have you ever told that story on a podcast?
I have not. I'm saving it. I have not killed an elk. So I have gone a couple times solo DIY to Colorado. Jace, our mutual friend Jace, way back in the day when I was editing the handbooks at Field and Stream, he was writing a lot of the bow hunting handbook. And I was like, Jace, man, I got to kill an elk. Where should I go? And he pointed me to like the most gnarliest OTC unit in the state. And
in the San Juans.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I know. Been there.
Yeah. So the first year I went, I got there about a week before the season to acclimate, and I got up high on a spot where you could kind of drive in. I was still at elevation. I was hiking around, and I met some deer hunters because was an early season mule deer rifle season that happens with the first week of elk season. And I'm feeling good, and like I'm accustomed to it. I didn't go in on the first day, but on the second day of the season, I started walking in. And I got a message on, it was a Delorum, it's all Garmin now, but this was 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And it said, call home. I was like, oh man. And so I hiked up to where I could get cell service, and called, and my grandfather had passed away. And, man, it was terrible. Like we knew he had lung cancer, but like I did a graduate degree in nonfiction writing, and my project was on World War II. And I spent a lot of time with him and interviewing him, and like we were close. And it was kind of unexpected, even though he had lung cancer. And my parents were like, look, you've planned this elk hunt forever. Like, you can go to like stay. We just felt like we had to let you know. And it's funny, like you can get onto Delorum and see the map. And like I hiked down and walked in like another mile, and that's when it all clicked on me, and it was like, fuck elk hunting. Like, I gotta go be with my family. So I turned around and hiked out, drove from in that case, Colorado to Rhode Island. And then made it for the funeral. But he was, like I said, he was in the service. I got his flag. Like it was the move to do, to be just a part of that whole process. But yeah, it was awful. It was awful for first elk hunt. So then I went back the next year, went to a different spot, same mountains, climbed, got up there, hiked in. It was about 9 miles from the truck into where I was hunting. And it was a lot of elevation. I was camped out, I think, right around like 9,500 feet or 10,000 feet, something like that. And it was early season, so my plan was to get up on the ridges and spot them and then kind of drop in on them, because I don't know how to elk call. I grew up on the east, I wasn't even going to mess with that. And I'm running these ridges, and again, I got there early, like a week before season, and I was on them, man. I found them. I found a bull I wanted to hunt. Like I was pumped. And then, I set my alarm to wake up early for the opener. I'm in this little tent, not eating Mountain House, because I learned it from the previous year. Like, don't bring fucking Mountain House. It'll kill you. And, middle of the night, like 3 a.m., I got this pain. I was like, oh, something in my side, And man, it was violent. Like, it hurt. And then I got out of the tent, and I was moving around to try to get rid of this pain. And the only thing I could do to make it go away was like downward dog, like that yoga position. It's almost like the way like a Muslim prays, like knees fully under me, arms out. And so I'm like doing this in the dark, in the mountains, beside my tent, and it like finally went away. And so I was able to get a little sleep, and wake up and the alarm goes off. And as soon as I'm awake, the pain's back. And I was like, it's opening day. I got to go. And you get hunting like makes us all a little crazy. Like I probably wasn't seeing clearly. And I hiked out to the spot. There was like this rock and this drainage, and these cows and calves were moving through it. And I was like, I'm going to set up there. It's like bow shot, thermals, everything's good. So I'm sitting on my rock, and this pain just won't go away. And then all of a sudden, boom, I throw up. like just spilled my guts right on the rock. I'm like, oh, guess we're not killing elk anymore. It was like 30 times I threw up, and it was just straight dry heaves, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I'm puking all over myself, and like my side is killing me. And and so I hike up, and I'm camped out by this lake, and as I'm hiking back, there's a guy fly fishing. I hadn't seen a person in like 4 or 5 days. And this dude's fly fishing, and I stumble out over there, and I'm like, hey! And this guy's like, whoa, like, what's going on here? And I'm like, he comes over for, we waited in. He's like, what's going on? I was like, man, I'm sick. I'm real sick. Do you know anything about medicine? And he got like serious, and he's like, yeah, I'm an emergency room doctor. And I'm like, oh, fucking thank God. Thank God. I'm like, Doc, I am screwed up. Something's going on with my side. And he's like, all right, lay down. And he like moved my legs, and he's prodded me and everything. And he said, look, one of two things happened. Your appendix burst or you have a kidney stone. I think your appendix burst. You need to get down off this mountain and go to a hospital. There's nothing I can do for you here. And so I put all my shit in my tent, my bow, zipped it up, left it, just walked, the 9 miles back down to my truck. And there were a couple points on that walk where like all of a sudden I came to and I was like sitting Indian style on the trail, like full fucking blackout. And I had the SOS on my DeLorem, and I was like, do I hit it? Do I don't? And I was like, oh, I think I can make it. So I hiked out, got down, and got to my truck, and it was like a 2-hour drive to the hospital. And like, I mean, dude, like, I guess like the pain thing, like I feel like I can tolerate, like I have a good kind of pain index. Like, dude, I have broken bones that have hurt less. Like I straight up snapped an ankle, and I would rather that again than what this was. It was brutal. And so it was like this 2-hour drive to get there. And I jumped in the truck and I drove to the hospital. And I get to the registration and it's empty. And I'm like, I need to see a doctor. And the woman's like, all right, sir, we need your driver's license and your insurance card. And I was like, I need to see a fucking doctor. Like top of my lungs, full psychotic. All of a sudden, like security and nurses and people are dragging me away and hooking me up in tubes. You want to call anything? Your appendix burst. We just need to rule some stuff out. We prep the OR. You're going right to surgery. And I was like, I called my wife. She's crying and I'm crying. And the nurse comes in and she's like, we just got to rule some stuff out before surgery. And she put the thing on me, the ultrasound. She's like, doctor? The doctor comes in and she's like, the doctor looks. He's like, oh, it's a kidney stone. 1 second. Morphine drip. Boom. The world is okay again. Like, yeah, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna piss that thing right out. You'll be fine. It was brutal. It was ridiculous. And then so then the end of the story is I get out and like I want to go elk hunting again, right? And they give me a script and I'm all morphined up, and they said, go to the Walmart to pick up your prescription. I don't remember walking around in the Walmart at all. And I got a hotel room. I remember that. I remember asking them, am I okay to drive? They're like, yeah, how do you feel? I was like, I feel great, honestly. I don't know if I should be driving home. Like, oh, yeah, you're fine. So anyway, the next day at the hotel, like, I'm going through the stuff. I'm taking the pills. I'm prepping to go to elk hunting. And I opened this bag from Walmart. And, dude, in my, like, morphine coma, I bought everything with an elk on it in that entire Walmart. I had, like, a bag of, like, 9 calls and a camo I didn't need. It was like, what was I thinking?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was wicked. It's an adventure.
So you're not meant to elk hunt. I'm what I'm taking away from this.
No, I'm cursed, man. I'm
Yeah.
cursed.
Yeah. That's a funny story, but it sucks at the same time. Cause that's one of those things. A lot of people love the idea of going into the backcountry by themselves, and they're in love with the idea of that. But shit like that happens and your world changes.
Yeah, yeah. And like I can laugh about it now and like I tell it it's all funny, but I mean there was a point where like I just before I was like I need like this calls for a helicopter, right? Like I came to that decision and I was thinking about it and I mean I honestly thought it was over. I thought I was dying. And I was like, I was okay with that. And then I thought about my wife and I thought about my mom. And I thought, like, man, like all the pain that this is going to cause them for me wanting to, like, go chase a stupid animal, you know? It was heavy. It was hard, you know?
Yeah.
I think I would learn something from it. But now all I want to do come September is go out west and chase animals. So.